Hello, everyone. It's Jeannie. How are you? I hope you are all well. Welcome to my channel and welcome to a Friday Flip. Today's Friday Flip is a little different. We are going into a different decade. We're going back 50 years, almost 50 years. To an architectural digest from 1977. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about 1977. I was there. Unlike all the 1800 and early 1900s, I wasn't there, but I was there. But I still looked up some things to get a better frame of reference. But anyway, let me tell you about this magazine and how I got it. It came to me from one of you, a follower of mine. Let me read you the note she sent. It is from Marina Miller. And so she is from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. One of our favorite cities. It is so beautiful there. If you haven't been to Vancouver, BC, put it on your bucket list. And it says, Dear Jeannie, my name is Marina Miller, writing to you from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I'm a 27-year-old writer and student and have been an active ASMR enjoyer for over a decade, so since she was 17. I discovered your channel about a year ago and wanted to express my gratitude for the effort and care you put into your content. Thank you for that. You've got a knack for creating a calming atmosphere, and I enjoy the topics you choose. Enclosed in this package is what I hope is an intriguing piece of history, a 1977 edition of Architectural Digest magazine. I know you appreciate vintage advertisements and pop culture, so this may be a fun read for you. How did I get this magazine, you may wonder? Well, it turns out it's been sitting in my grandparents' basement since it came out. Since losing them recently, my family has taken on the task of cleaning out the house they lived in for 50 years. I'm sorry about that. It's hard. I helped my mom clean out my grandmother's house, and she was 97. It was my dad's mom. With this has come a treasure trove of history, memories, and fun items like my grandmother's Architectural Digest collection. Oh, how cool. Hika, who we called Mimi, always had the latest issue of Architectural Digest out to read, and I never thought about where she put the old ones. Turns out she kept them all. Mimi was a glamorous, social, boisterous woman who loved to entertain and loved being a grandma even more. We miss her and her husband, Carl, Papa, every day. I knew right away I wanted to send you a small piece of their collection, sharing a bit of their story alongside it. See you online. Cheers, Marina Miller. Oh man, that is so special. That is so very special, Marina. Thank you, thank you. Now, interesting. In 1977, I was a teenager, having lots of fun. It was one of the best years of my life. I was still young enough to be carefree and not really know what was going on in the bigger world beyond my little bubble. My decorating savvy was really just plastering my bedroom walls with Led Zeppelin and Jimmy Page posters and pictures, and yeah, honestly, you couldn't see my walls for all the posters and pictures and articles and things I had up on my ceiling. And my parents let me, which was really nice. So I was going to concerts, days on the green in San Francisco, Oakland, Bay Area, California Bay Area, and just life was fun. I had little jobs like, what was I doing in 77? I might have been working at a donut shop. Yeah, I think I was working at a donut shop, saving up money to buy my first car. So, let me tell you what was going on outside of my bubble, because I looked it up. Okay. I've forgotten a lot of this, so... Okay, let's see. 50 years ago. God, am I really that old? Let's, whoops. Okay. Okay, so this is April 1977. Jimmy Carter had just taken office. He had been president for just a few months, January. Let's see, Americans were hopeful after the political turmoil of the Nixon years and the end of the Vietnam War. Whoops. Come on, fingers. Don't do that. The Cold War was in full swing. The United States and Soviet Union were still locked in political and military rivalry. Nuclear arms talks continued. Why does it keep flipping up like that? There we go. And many people worried about the possibility of war, nuclear war. Queen Elizabeth II celebrated her Silver Jubilee. 1977 marked 25 years on the throne for her. I wasn't invited. They didn't know about me and my royal background. The Concorde was the newest marvel. It was the supersonic Concorde, and it had recently entered commercial service, allowing passengers to fly from New York to London in about 3.5 hours. It was the height of luxury travel. I was on a Concorde in Washington State at the Boeing plant. They have a Concorde there at their museum, the Boeing Museum. It's really interesting. Every seat on it is a first-class seat. It doesn't fly anymore. No Concordes fly anymore. Let's see. In America, the economy was improving. Inflation was easing after the difficult years of the oil crisis. Interest rates were still relatively high. Gas stations looked normal again because just a few years earlier, the lines were insane. I remember they even had even and odd days. So if your license plate ended in an odd number, you went on this date, and the next day was for even numbers. And I knew somebody who had salvaged a license plate that was opposite of his, and so if he needed gas on that other day, he just swapped out his license plate. Ingenuity, right? Okay. Personal computers were just beginning. This was the year Apple II debuted. Most people had never seen a home computer, and few imagined one would sit in nearly every home one day. a lot of my older friends, like, if they were starting to get jobs. If they weren't going to be going to college, they were starting to get jobs in the Silicon Valley at Apple, at Dell, at all kinds of different places. Let's see, pop culture. About this time, people were watching Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, Charlie's Angels, The $6 Million Man. The number one songs were Rich Girl by Hall & Oates, Don't Leave Me This Way by Thelma Houston, Dancing Queen by ABBA. And then, just a month later, in May, Star Wars came out and changed movies forever. Okay, now, home design. We're going to go through that and kind of compare. Now, prices for the average home were about $49,000. A new car was about $5,000. Gas was about 65 cents a gallon. A first-class postage stamp was 13 cents. And a loaf of bread was about 32 cents. And get started showing you this. Let me preface this by saying, too, my home life was not out of an Architectural Digest magazine. It was much more simple, much more basic, and what my parents bought probably in the 60s is what we had in the 70s. So this wasn't my world. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay. So here's the front cover. And it's very, it's kind of neutral. And I think at this time, colors were starting to get away from some of those 60s colors of greens and oranges and avocados, and I guess, and gold. What was it? Harvest gold. Okay, let's see. There we go. Okay, so we've got beautiful furniture. We've got, these are the ads, of course, and as we know, ads, I think with every decade, just became more and more and more. Okay, the Seville, the Cadillac Seville. I'll bet this was more than $5,000. Let me find out. Okay. Oh, okay. It was $13,359. So, like 2.5 times the price of the average car. Okay, we've got Waterford Crystal. I think this is definitely appealing to a consumer with more money. I love the traditional fabrics, and look at the bedspread. I did have a bedspread like this back in the 70s, not a comforter type thing, full bedspread. Okay. Oh, look at these, the mark of the designers. Okay, so they've got these designer guys picking out the best fabrics, and look at these cars. They've got to be 100 feet long. They're crazy. Continental Mark V. Let's find out how much those were. Let's see, Continental Mark V was a little less than a Cadillac. It was about $11,400, but still more than double the price of the average car. Okay, Hennessy Fine Cognac, Champagne Cognac. Okay, oh, I love this, the Polaroid with flash bulbs. When you used up those flash bulbs, you had to buy more, and they were not cheap. Okay, this whole camera is $233. That was a lot of money. Okay, this is looking neutral. Michael Love. I guess she is a ASID interior designer. Oh, I love these fabrics. Very traditional. Williamsburg fabrics are very, you could really do up like a historic house with Williamsburg fabrics. So, look at this. They're advertising the Newtone Central Vacuum Cleaning System. We didn't have that growing up, but I had one in one of our houses. I can't remember where we lived. And it was great. But the hose was heavy and cumbersome, and we had to put a big sock on it because the ridges in it would damage the walls, especially if you had to make a turn against a right angle and the hose would drag against it. The ridges would damage the wall. Okay, the new naturals. General Electric introduces colors as fresh as the great outdoors. I guess they're getting away from the browns and the greens and the golds. Look at this lift. I spoke too soon. Look, oh, can you see this? The gold, the green, the brown, and the snow. It's called Harvest Wheat, Coffee, Fresh Avocado, and Snow. Okay, look at this. Can you see this? I do think we had this wallpaper in my house, in my kitchen, growing up. Okay, some Cuddy Scots whiskey. Let's see. Some good reading. Kind of some Art Deco looking designs. Okay. All right. You know, modernism. I don't know a lot about interior design, so I don't know years and, when things became popular or what. But modernism kind of started, I'd say, in the 60s, 70s. And I could be wrong, where they started with lucite, that clear plastic look. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of rattan, like the Miami look. Oh, now this. I like it. It's called Clarence House. That's where King Charles lives. And I would put this at the 80s, but clearly it's 70s because this is 1977. But I do like that. Wow, look at this furniture. Gotta make sure. Stay in focus here. All right, watches a Rolex. Does it say how much? $1,465. $1,465 for this Rolex. That was a lot of money back then. Okay, La Barge, Holland, Michigan. Oh, the indoor atrium. That, I remember certain people, friends of my mom and dad, who had like indoor atriums with lots of growing things and trees and water. Okay. Okay. Tchotchkes. I wanted my bedroom warm and cozy, but light and airy like an indoor garden. Oh my goodness. Wow. I understand the time. Okay. Oh, here's that glass. Glass and metal. Okay. More whiskey. Chivas Regal. All right. Wow. Okay, these. Whew. Look at how beautiful and modern. I mean, that could go into any modern look, any decade. This is inspired by Art Deco. Okay. Family living in Fort Worth, Texas. That's north of here, about 3 hours. I mean, I like this. I could live in this today. Kind of modern. Okay, a grand manor. A Southampton house styled for comfort. Oh, that's nice. It's retro for me now, but that's beautiful. Oh, look at those floors. Look at those. It's a rug. Loud. Loud and proud. Okay, so this is from the cover. Yeah, this is from the cover. Wow, look at this study. Holy moly. And the bedroom. Pretty grand. Look at the shag carpet. I think they have shag carpet in here too. Yeah, from the front. Very thick shag. Okay, what is this? Someone's house. Wow. Wow, that's kind of cool. Can you see all this? I hope there's not too much glare. Wow, that is cool. That is really cool. I love it when old people with lots of money are eclectic. Just going to kind of go through here. Otherwise, this will be a super long video. So if I go by something too quickly, you have to go back and look at it and pause the video. Wow, look at this. The Dennis residence. Where do they live? Los Angeles. Pretty. I mean, a little heavy. A little heavy. We're in the middle of redoing our master bedroom. And I'm going to wallpaper the headboard wall, the main wall. New drapes, bedding, that kind of thing. Okay, watercolors. Oh, wow. Homer, Winslow Homer. Okay, Spanish colonial echoes. A 1920s house in Beverly Hills. Oh, wow. How cool would that be? Wow, what a beautifully set table. Sir Frederick Ashton. Oh, wow, look at this house. I love it. I need it. That is so beautiful. Looks like it's right out of England. Where is it? Suffolk. Wow. In Suffolk. I wonder where. That is beautiful. I need to get on somebody's list to come, like, tour some beautiful grand manors. That would be so awesome. That's a bucket list, is to tour a beautiful manor. When we were in England a couple of years ago, we went to that one, what was the name of it? Castle Howard. And that's where Brideshead Revisited was filmed. And that is near Conisthorpe. It's north of York, England. I loved it. I toured that. It was awesome. And the family still live there in part of the house. So if you get to England, go visit Castle Howard. They have a walled garden that's just beautiful. Okay, an artist studio. Oh, the pages are coming out. Oh my goodness, talk about red. Different kimonos. Oh, it's a bath, like a bath and spa room. Oh, I see, different hot tub decor. Okay, Palm Beach. This is neat. I don't know that I've ever really looked through an architectural digest. Art Deco. Oh, these are just coming out. The spine is not holding up. Wow, look at this piece. Wow. It is Jeweled Landscape by Richard Jones. It is sterling silver with sapphire and jewels. Oh my goodness. Okay. 19th century German coffer with lapis lazuli, carnelian, gold enamel, and bronze mounts, decorated with Renaissance motifs. Wow. Something else. These things are made with gold and rubies and emeralds and sapphires. Wait. Let's see, New York, Sutton Place Panorama. Interesting how the draperies are a thing, you know, in the bed, kind of the, you know, the big 4-poster thing with draperies. Lake Garda. Oh my goodness. Talk about opulent. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Looks like an old book collector. Wow. Hellenistic sculptures and reliefs. Whoa. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at the motorhome. Oh gosh, I have to hold this up for you to see. Look at that. And look at that. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, Jen Eyre. Appliances. Okay, what is this? A Thunderbird by Ford. That is nice, and also 100 yards long. Wow. You get a 22 karat gold finish plaque for the instrument panel. Okay. Wall-to-wall shag carpet. Okay, Whirlpool. Interesting. They have a big Whirlpool ad and just an eagle. But no, it's about pride in their craftsmanship, not a particular appliance. Yeah, this looks so, this reminds me of the Golden Girls in Miami or wherever it is they live in Florida. Okay. Hot tubs. Hot tubs are coming out big time. Yeah. They have the built-in spa type, and I remember also the barrel type, like a big wooden barrel. Oh, wow. Formica countertops. I think just about everybody had Formica countertops in the 70s. I know we did. Ours were gold. They were a gold. I'm going to have to try to find some pictures. I know I've got boxes of pictures I've got to go through and sort. You would be very entertained, I promise you. I know I've just got tons of boxes to go through. Okay, furniture, porcelain. Oh, look at that. Again, this reminds me of something you'd see in the Golden Girls. Okay. I think that's about it. Okay. Thermidor, ovens, double ovens for the entertainer. We have double ovens. We just put them in maybe 8 months ago, and I love them because I cook a lot, as you know, and a dinner party is almost, for me, it's almost not impossible, but it's a juggle with one oven. Cabinets. Wow, look at those cabinets. Beautiful. Okay. Oh my gosh. Look at the back of this thing. Oh my goodness. Let's see. That is busy. Wow. Wow. But yeah, that is the 70s. This is the 70s of people with a bit more money. I remember we had an aunt. I had an aunt and uncle, and they had done very well. And I remember they had a desktop adding machine, 10-key adding machine. And I thought that was the bee's knees. It was the most amazing. I knew in life you've arrived if you had a 10-key adding machine, because people didn't have those, or calculators. Calculators were starting to come out. I take that back. The Texas Instruments, the TI, but they were expensive. So, anyway, like I said, it was my favorite decade. It was my favorite year, 1977, one of my top favorite years. There are others, and for different reasons. You know, your kids, you have highlight with your kids and your husband and things like that. But in terms of a lifetime feel-good place to go in my heart, in my mind, in my spirit, it's probably 77. So, Marina, of all the years you could have sent me, this was a special one. You know, I had freedom. I was a teenager, going around and having fun with my brother. My brother was still alive, my best friend. and you just thought life was going to be like that forever. And sadly, it doesn't stay that way. And I think I'm going to sign off with a reminder to enjoy the good times. Enjoy the times of even platitudes, because things can be hard. Things can get really difficult. Hard times come to almost everybody. I think we all have a tragedy or two to tell. Heartbreak, loss of life, illness, tough stuff. So if you don't currently have that in your life, live to your fullest. Appreciate that. Be grateful for that. I'm not saying bad stuff is coming, but life has a way of, sometimes you walk a tough road. And by the same token, if you're in that tough spot, if you're on that tough road right now, know that it passes too. It just does. Nothing stays the same. Life is a pendulum. It just is. In all of my years, that is something that I have found to be so true. You don't stay in any one sustained state all the time. So, there you have it. My Friday blah blah blah. So I'm going to go now and sign off. I have a couple of other really good Friday flips that are coming up from a few other decades. So those will be coming. Marina, thank you for thinking of me and sending this. I think it's a first for this channel to go through an architectural digest. So, and I appreciate the year. Okay, we need a thumbnail. I never know how I'll look, if I'm going to look like a goober, when I take that shot. So, there you have it. Take care, my friends. I appreciate you, and I'm so glad you're here on my channel. I love your comments. I wish I could write paragraphs and paragraphs in response, but I can't. But even if you just get a heart, know that I truly mean it, okay? So, let me know your thoughts. Tell me about what you grew up with in terms of your parents' design and, interior design. Were you one of, these, bougie people? Or were you just average? I'd love to hear. Or what you thought of, interior design as a whole. So, yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. Take care, my friends. I wish you well, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.